So far you have written functions that looks like this, the function keyword followed by the name of the function. This is what's called a function declaration. There is another syntax for creating a function, that's called function expression. Let's look at an example. To code along with me, first download the course folder from the link in the description below and open it with your favorite code editor. Here I'm using Visual Studio Code. From the course folder, open the exercise folder called JavaScript Functions. And then open the index.html file using Google Chrome. Here I also open the JavaScript console. In the index.html file, remember to link functions.js file. A function expression lets you assign a function to a variable. For example, in functions.js file, you could rewrite this generate random number function to look like this. Notice that there's no name after the function keyword. A function without a name after the function keyword is called an anonymous function. Instead, the name comes from the variable. In other words, I'm storing a function as a value in a variable named generateRandomNumber. Also in this case, you are creating a statement by assigning a value to a variable. Because of this, you add a semicolon after the closing curly brace. And you can call this type of function by using the name of the variable followed by parentheses. So now anytime you come across a function that's assigned to a variable, you'll know that it's a function expression. We're also going to explore function expressions further in the upcoming lectures about arrow functions. Finally, function declarations and function expressions work in much the same way, except for one major difference. And that is, you can call a function declaration before it's defined. For example, I'll convert this function back to a function declaration, then call it above the function, and display its return value in the console. I'll save the change. Refresh the page. Notice how the function still works as expected. We get a random number. That's mainly because function declarations load before any code is executed. When the JavaScript file loads, the JavaScript engine behind the scenes moves all function declarations to the top of their current scope. In this case, the global scope. Since the JavaScript engine immediately knows about any function declarations, you can call a function before it's declared in the file. This behavior is called hoisting. Function expressions, on the other hand, are not hoisted or lifted up to the top of their scope. A function expression loads only when the JavaScript engine gets to the line of code it's on. For example, I'll again convert this generateRandomNumber function into a function expression. I'll save the change. Refresh the page. Now the console outputs an error. It says, onCut reference error, cannot access generateRandomNumber before initialization. So remember, if you call a function expression before it's defined, you'll get an error. Up next, I'll teach you how to write arrow functions, which offer a more concise syntax for writing functions.